Graphical Network Simulator 3 or GNS3 is a network software emulator first released in 2008. It allows the combination of virtual and real devices used to simulate complex networks. GNS3 is used by hundreds of thousands of network engineers worldwide to emulate, configure, test, and troubleshoot virtual and real networks. GNS3 is open source free software that you can download from gns3.com. In this video, we have the following objectives: to be able to configure a basic topology, to be able to ping virtual machines from other networks, to be able to visit the website of the other network.
This is the topology for the activity. You can see that we will be having two networks, and each network will have one server and one client. These networks will be connected via routers. These networks are connected via routers, and we will be using static IP routing. Installation, we will need GNS3 software, VirtualBox with at least 2 servers and 2 desktops, and Cisco iOS router image. For this activity, it is assumed that GNS3, VirtualBox, and Cisco iOS images are already downloaded and ready to be configured. For the procedures, we will run Setup Wizard to add routes and virtual machines into the project. So this is the steps. So from the working area, go to Help, Setup Wizard. In this case, we will use local server, so run on legacy. Check for your host bindings. Click Finish. To add routers, click Edit, Preferences, Cisco iOS Routers, click New, click Local Computer, New Image to add new routers, browse for the iOS image, and then click Open, decompress the image, click Next, click Next. Also, search for the default RAM, default interfaces, and then click Idle PC Finder. You can now use the newly added router in the topology. To add virtual machines, go to Edit, Preferences, VirtualBox VMs, the same concept as before. Click New, and then it will load your VM list. Select for the VirtualBox. Click Finish and then Apply. You can now use the virtual machines in the topology. To start, go ahead and create a new project. You can name it whatever you want. From Router tab, drag in your added routers. We'll be using two 3600 routers in this activity. They will be used to connect different networks in the topology. We will also use two switches in order to connect end devices. For the first network, we will be using an Ubuntu server as well as on the second network. Then for the first network, we will be using Ubuntu desktop, and for the second network, we will be using Windows 7. From here, we can arrange the topology. Click on the router and slots. We will be needing one fast Ethernet and one serial port. So we can check for one FE and 4T since it will only give 4 serials. From here we can connect R1 to switch, and then from the switch we can connect the end devices like so. Then we can do the same thing for the second network. Connect the switch to the router and connect the end devices to the switch. Tapos for the last connection, we will be connecting two routers. In this case, we will use serial 10 to serial 10. Again, replace all the components in the topology to suit your needs. Start the routers so that we can configure it. Click this one to enable logical interface viewing. Arrange as desired. Arrange. Now configure the routers by double clicking on it. For the first network, we'll be configuring F00 and S00. Label the network. From R1, configure terminal. Then interface fast00. IP address 192.168.1.1 and then no shutdown. Also, interface S1/0. In this case, we will be labeling the third network as 10.10.10.0/30. This is a so-called point-to-point network. So IP address 10.10.10.1, 255.255.255.252, and then no shutdown. Once that's done, go ahead and close it. And from the R2, configure it. Configure terminal interface S1/0, IP address 10.10.10.2/30, and then now shut down. Also, we need to configure F00, interface F00, IP address 192.168.2.1, 255.255.255.0, and then now shut down. From here, we can label each interface's IP address to make it more easier for us to configure the topology. We will be using IP routing in order to connect to different networks. Go ahead and click IP route. Go ahead and configure the terminal. IP route 192.168.2.0. That is the other network with its subnet mask, and the exit interface, which is S1/0. That will be it. Open the CLI for the R2. Also configure terminal. IP route. In this case, this will be 192.168.1.0/24, and then its exit interface will be S1/0. We can try to ping the interfaces of these routers to check if it is working. You can see here that the ping is successful. We can see here that the ping is successful. For the other router also, the ping will be successful. Start the servers. Right click on the server and then click start, as well as the other server. You can see that the servers are now loading. Go ahead and log in into your servers. The server should have a DHCP and as well as the DNS and the web server configured. Issuing the ifconfig command, we can see that they are on a static IP addressing. Go ahead and ping to test the networks. We can see that the ping are successful. And we can also see that pinging the other server is also successful. Now we will start the desktops, the Ubuntu desktop and the Windows 7 desktop. Right click and then click start and wait for it to load. From the Ubuntu desktop, issue the ifconfig, and we can see that it is given an IP address. Issue the ping commands to check if they are connected. We can see that the connections are successful. From the second network, a Windows 7 client will be used. From here, issue the IP config, and we can see that it has given an IP address. So, pinging from the Windows 7 to Ubuntu Server 2, we can see that the ping is successful. Lastly, check for its web server. The web servers are configured with DNS, so you can issue its DNS for the web server. Here you can see that the web server of the first network can be viewed, and as well as the second network. So that is all. Thank you.